Hey, what's up, boys and girls? Back with another Awaken Chaos Era video coming straight at you. Don't forget to holler, like, subscribe, shout, donate to my Patreon and my OnlyFans. Fucking please, I'm so desperate.
Hey guys, what's happening? So I just thought I would give an update to anyone out there who's actually interested in free-to-play progression. So yeah, at this point, if not just for education purposes, I'm likely going to be staying free-to-play for the remainder of this beta. If I really get the itch to spin for some reason, I'll probably just do that on another linked account. Oh, by the way, that error has come up literally every single time I've logged in. I just don't believe it at this point. So if you notice, I do have more diamonds than before. That's pretty much thanks to them sending out a few different gifts, as well as a bug where the arena rewards just got spammed. This is all one day. This is the same day. I made some progression in terms of heroes. As you can see, I have 3 6 stars now, and I've leveled up a few other people. I am happy to say that as of now, in terms of dungeons, I am able to run Tulpa 12. This has about a 90 to 95% win rate. The only reason it's not 100 is because I just barely don't have enough damage to take out some of the ads before they, every once in a while, just badoink-a-doink my sploink. So yeah, at this point, I basically live here. I have set up camp in Tulpa, and this is what I'm using the majority of my stamina on. I will run adventure mode if I have a need for experience, gold, and or glyphs, usually if I need all 3. So regarding the stamina issue that I mentioned before, that issue is still prevalent and one of the largest, if not the largest problems with the game. There has been a temporary kind of fix in that the devs every day are sending us 20 meal tickets through the mail. When I first saw that, I was like, ooh boy, oh praise be. Daddy devs have finally rained down upon us with their kind blessings. And then it was depleted in less than 2 hours.
And it's gone.
What do you mean? I have $100.
Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
Which, I mean, far be it from me to complain about free stuff. I will take that. I will use that to progress in any meaningful way that I can. And at this point, if this were the real game, progression would be, like I said, basically just living here eternally until you get good enough gear to the point that you can start doing some of these other dungeons with the gear that this dungeon specifically gives you that allows you to pad your stats. And I might end up putting out an actual helpful piece of content, as in a Roaring Tulpa guide. This channel wasn't really meant to be permanent anyways, but I might go ahead and do that just because they have patched out your ability to stack defense breaking mechanics, which is giving a lot more people a much harder time with Tulpa. I'm not really affected by it because I didn't really have a consistent way to stack defense down in the first place, so I was already kind of famished out here struggling and figuring out how to make my team work with that. I'll probably try to clear this in the next couple of days. The only thing I really have to do is decide who to 6-star next. So really I could handle my next 6-star in 2 ways. I could either go 1, well, this is a beta, so it doesn't really matter, so I could try to upgrade somebody and see if that will speed up my Tulpa runs. Like, say for example, I were to 6-star Cyrus, and then see if she could replace Zack, and if that would somehow be faster or more consistent. Or I could be like, no, that would be kind of dumb if I was playing the real game. Why don't I try something that will help me with other content, like for example, leveling Zatlooks up finally. Arena, as you can see, I am now at 93 tokens, because despite the fact that I've visibly made more progress than a lot of people who have spent money, I still do not have, drumroll please, Windstreaks! Honestly, even if I did have Windstreaks, it wouldn't exactly make this enthralling gameplay. The PvP in this right now is just not really it, and, you know, maybe when the game actually comes out in months down the line, it'll be exciting, but I think they're going to have to rebalance PvP specifically unless they want it to just be an afterthought. But according to one of the community managers, the devs are actually preparing to have RTA and Guild Wars in the game, so I do hope they put some more forethought into how PvP is going to work going forward. The rewards are also cheeks. Did I mention that? They're cheeks. Oh, by the way, that whole dilemma I had with constantly checking the arcane dungeon, waiting for EXP jelly dungeons to pop, I don't really have that dilemma so much anymore because I actually sat down and I checked how much EXP I would get from just farming the adventure mode for glyphs with the double EXP on. And even though the glyph drop rate itself is horrible, you actually get about just as much EXP per hour as you do if you wait for the dungeons. The only sense in which it's a lot more efficient is that the dungeons cost half as much energy as Mythic Story, but honestly, who cares? The recent events are a little bit better because this one, you only have to spend energy. See, I've already completed it. Even though this event is generic, if that's what you want to call it, it's a lot better than having to summon a shit ton of heroes because then you're de-incentivized from ever summoning until that happens. But especially the gear upgrading one, like God forbid if that is in the rotation of the actual game at launch. Oh, by the way, gold, you see this up here? I thought it wouldn't be an issue. It is maybe one of the biggest issues in this game. It's even worse than EXP Jelly, because upgrading gear on top of costing charms that nobody has costs gold, and once you actually try to get your gear to plus 15 to make notable improvements, like for example, these I have on plus 15, it costs a shit ton of gold, and you do not build it that quickly. If it cost just gold, that would be okay, because then you could sell all the gear that you get from dungeons for gold, which by the way, they really don't make it clear that you can do that. I just kind of discovered that I could by accident, because you have to go to your backpack, and then gear, and then sell is right there. As far as I'm aware, there's no other way to get to this screen. Like I was saying, if it only costs gold to upgrade gear, oh yeah, sell this shit all day. But because it also costs those charms, which are so few and far between, you're pretty much forced to start using gear as well, just spamming gear to level up your other gear, even though it contributes so little. Eventually it's to the point where it's like, okay, let me just collect 1,000 fucking pieces of gear then, and maybe I can use that to take one of my things to plus 9, and then it gets bad substat rules, so it's wasted anyway. I honestly think it should just cost gold. I mean, that's probably not going to happen because they are going to want to do something with the gear charm assets, but I don't know, just make them pretty stones that do nothing. Or, you know, give us an actual dungeon that drops them. I mean, that would be an easier solution and a more realistic one, but something else, please. Dispatches are still nice and cool. I'm getting legendary ones now. One thing I will say though is this is all maxed out already, and I've accumulated nearly 900 more of these, but these are pointless now. So either more to this tree or like a shop where we can actually do something with this would be cool. You know what, let's go ahead with the remaining stamina that we have. Not all of it, but let's go ahead and do 5 runs of Tulpa. Probably embarrass myself and somehow fail 3 out of 5 on auto this time, but you know what, let's just do it. Well, would you look at that? 5 out of 5 wins. Who's the big man on campus now, huh? Yeah, who's got the big fat nuts? I am going to try to get at least 1,000 runs in and log those, at the very least to look at the drop rates of legendaries. So I am going to make at least one more video on this, at least one more general purpose video near the actual end of the beta, maybe 1 or 2 more kind of specific ones that will actually be more helpful going forward for people who, you know, want the deets, want the down low on the information. But yeah, that's all I can think of for now. Something else will probably come to mind that will jolt me awake at night, you know, causing me to have a night terror while I'm showering or something, but see you later.